Yeah.
They have coffee up in the courtroom?
All right.
Oh, no. Usually. I don't care about the donuts, but, yeah, coffee. Be nice. Okay. Even if you have to pay for it.
No, downstairs.
Excuse me.
Good?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, come on down here. Listen, do you have any paperwork? Nothing?
I went to open records request last Friday at HCC to see if I can get the documents because they told me to come before 5. I was there at 3 something, and nobody gave me any documents. I went this morning.
Don't worry about it. We're going to reset it. Listen,
Okay.
what about when you registered? Where'd you go register? HPD or the Sheriff's Department?
Wow, I don't know which side I'm on. They share the same office.
Okay. Do you have any copies of any of that stuff?
No, because the only time you have paperwork or signed paperwork is the first time. So, like,
Or
since
do you have copies of that?
I'm certain I do.
I need that.
Okay.
Okay. Because on that it's supposed to, you've got to register 2 places. I register at school and either whatever the central registration is. You register at the central registration.
Right.
They're supposed to put on there that you're supposed to register at school. I want to see if they did or not.
Okay.
Right. Even if they didn't, it doesn't mean you get off of this, but it would certainly help.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it'd certainly make your case more sympathetic. If they didn't tell you you're supposed to, you can plead ignorance. Though that's not a true defense, it may help. Okay? Right. They're supposed to do it every time you register. They're supposed to give you a thing outlining your duties. They don't do that every time you register?
No, sir. They only give me a blue card. That's it.
That's it? Do you think you have the original copy of I mean, didn't somebody at one point give you a list of instructions when you registered?
Yes.
I need that.
Okay.
All right? I need that. Because these kind of cases, either you did or you didn't register. You know? They're tough. If you didn't and they didn't tell you you're supposed to, I can kind of try to use that. But it's still not a true defense because they're saying it doesn't matter. You're supposed to, but at least I could argue with them, look, he didn't know. Now let me ask you this, did you ever register at a school?
Never.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because if you registered and then didn't register later, that means you knew and you just didn't do it. If you never registered, I'm not going to tell them you never registered, but I just don't want them, if they're going to look into it. If I say he didn't know, and they look into it, well, yeah, he did, because he registered 3 years ago at school.
Yeah.
Right, so they won't be able to do that, all right? All right, we're just gonna reset this case, all right?
Okay.
All right, and then, give me that paperwork, and you said you did eventually register at school.
Yes.
When?
It was a few months ago.
How long after all this happened? Let me ask you this, when did you first find out about these charges?
When I was 17 years old.
No, I mean right here, these charges, right now.
When I was arrested in handcuffs.
When was that?
I was interning here, like a few months ago. Like 3 months ago.
Okay, so January, February?
About February.
And these charges stem from something in November when you were, are you still in school now?
Yes. I just graduated on Friday, but
Okay.
I'm still in school.
Okay. And when do you think you registered? When all this came up? In January,
No.
February? With the school, when did you register with school?
When they told me I could come back on campus,
When was that?
that was like in February, March. They told me to come up to the school, and they told me to
Okay,
get the
and by the
register.
time that happened, they had already filed charges. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
just trying to get the time frame. Okay, they filed charges on you back then. And back then, they told you you can't come onto campus.
Right.
Okay. And then they said you can't, and then you went and registered.
Correct.
All right. And that's what you're trying to get me proof of, that you've registered.
Right.
Good. All right. Perfect. Good. Okay. Now let's go see if we can go in here. We're just going to reset this.
Okay.
We can't do this.
We can't?
No. Okay. That's not really good. But I'm going to try to get some sympathy and see what we can say about, this thing. Let me make sure.
You know, you can beat this case. You can actually do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do.
I mean, all they got to prove is you were supposed to register and you didn't. Can they prove that? Yeah, they can prove it. They don't have you registering within 7 days.
And then that's where you'll tell them the reality of the laws, because the reality of the
No,
laws...
that's before then. No, I'm going to tell them that before then. What I'm going to say before then is, look, give him a break. He didn't know all this, and see if I get some sympathy. Because all we can get is sympathy. The law's on their side. Totally, completely, absolutely. It's on their side. Let me show you.
I never missed a registration date ever. I
Let me
mean,
show
like,
you. Let me
with
show
all
you.
these extra stipulations...
I know. It's crazy. I know. I agree with you. I agree with you. Let me show you this stuff. This is not good. This says where you're supposed to register with the school. And it says, for a personal correct register under both, you got it under both of them.
It say under both or one.
No. That's for something different. So hang on. It says,
He.
all right, look. All right, this says you gotta register within 7 days, all right? At school. This is where you have to register, just completely. You got the centralized registration authority, wherever it is. You say it's at the same place. It's the police chief, you know, or the county. This says it does not affect your duty to register with secondary registries under this chapter, such as those in 62153. All right. So it says you still got to register with the higher education.
This is Sasha.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you. So this says you got to register at both.
I was 17 when I caught this charge, and I
They register workers, so our students. So 153 says you got to register at school. This says you got to register with the police, and it says it does not affect your duty to register with school. So it means you still got to register at school.
which
Right there.
you won't see when you pointed out one at the top at first.
Well, this says this shows you got to register. It's either the office of the sheriff or with the chief of police. You got to register one of those two of central. And then even if you do that, it says it does not affect your duty to register. And this is school. See the CC2153 is school. CC2153 higher education. So you got to register at school. And this says just because you register here, doesn't mean you can skip school. You still got to register under school.
But it also says if there's no authority at the school.
Right.
Local
law.
Right.
Right.
Then you register at.
Right, but do they have a law, does HCC have a law enforcement?
They do, but they have multiple different law enforcement.
Well, then that's going to be a problem.
Right,
you know.
so they have multiple different places. The other thing that is that they put the students, well, they didn't really put the students on them. They put it on the HCC police website that all students have to come to one location. I think they changed that maybe in 2016 or 2017. The notice went out to the students. They just put it on the internet.
Yeah.
There was a question asked to the school about the policy. When did the policy change? Did they send notice to students? Any of that stuff? I did a public records request. The answer was no.
So they say the authority for campus security, so whatever that is.
Right.
That means whatever it is. So did you go try to register with them?
When in March I did.
No, before. No, before.
because I've never had to do this before. I was in high school when I got this.
Well, it doesn't matter where you were when
No,
you
I'm
got
saying
it.
I was in school,
I know.
and it wasn't a requirement then. So like
Where were you in high school?
Flint Southwestern Academy, Flint
Okay, but
Northern.
that's in Michigan, right?
Right.
Yeah, this is different. This is for Texas. How long have you been? How many years have you been in Texas?
Like 14.
Right. Get me that form. You know where it outlines your duties. Because I was telling him, I don't see how to beat the case. I mean, either he did or he didn't register. If they've got a campus security.
Right.
Wherever it is, I mean, if he could say, yeah, I went to the office and they told me here that, and you can verify that he tried, but if he didn't even try, we got a problem.
Well, I think these are the ways that I view this in terms of notice or knowledge in terms of what the law says. The law says there's this, there's that. You can go here, or you have to do both. If the school doesn't notify students that this is the place where you register, which there was no notification sent out to the students. This is why I told you I did a public records request.
Yeah.
No notice went out to students to say you have to go to this place to do this. Then a campus security could be any person. When you have multiple security people, it could be any person.
Like I said, but did he go to any one of all those people?
Well, so he went to a multitude of people and let them know who
He
he
did?
was. So
You did?
Everybody.
So this okay.
Like
So-
everybody who?
Everybody.
Right.
Beans, like I
Okay.
got photos with people that I mean.
No. I mean that you told them you were supposed to register. You told them you were supposed to register?
So no, I don't think that he told him he was supposed to register. And I think this is also going back to whether or not you know you have to register. Knowledge is a requirement. Yeah, knowledge actually is a requirement. It was just,
That's what we're gonna look at. That's why he's got a paper that they're supposed to write on there that he's winning
Yeah,
or not.
I understand.
And if they don't have that written on there, then he's got a good shot because they didn't tell him.
You know, we could beat this case. It depends on how it's argued.
this is the thing.
And if we don't think we can win it going in, I mean, it's like,
In a most recent case, in the, what is it, the state, criminal court of appeals, this actually came up about knowledge and intent. Knowledge means you should know or should have known based on the paperwork. Know and should have known and understanding, I think, is different. And there is, to me, a good opportunity to say, just knowing that you have to register somewhere between these two spaces doesn't mean that you understand you have to go to both. I think there's a good chance.
That's why we need that paper, because
Right.
they gave him something, and I don't know if they even told him he was supposed to go to school.
Right.
And if they did they say, you must go to both, or did they say, you may go to either one?
Right.
That's going to be crucial. So I don't know anything as we sit here.
No, I understand that.
I don't know anything.
We did a public records request with the school. The school has both. They have the same thing that he gets when he goes to the city of Houston. The forms are the same.
Right. Now that form, did they give you a copy of the form that outlines your duties?
No.
The school didn't?
No.
No.
And when I went with him to go back, because the school says, hey, you have to go here to this person, it's in the email, and you can get that for you. You have to go to the campus security at this place to register to get reinstated in school. He went, he filed the form, he turned it in to the campus security.
Now, what did that form say? Do you know?
yeah, it had a different, few blanks in it. It just asked about the victim, which I say I was, and
Okay.
it talk about her.
Okay, did it say anywhere you're supposed to do this within 7 days of leaving, and then within 7 days of moving? Did it outline all that stuff, or do you remember?
I can't remember all that.
Okay.
So that's why we did the public records
Right.
request. We're going to pick that up. We need to go down to the city. We
Into
also
the
went
city.
to his officer, once we knew he was going to have to start to court. He went back to his officer, and his caseworker down at the city, Officer Solomon, and said, hey, Officer Solomon, I need to get, copies of
everything.
Officer Solomon said, hey, I can't pull up your stuff. I can't get I can't pull this stuff up. You're going to have to do a request from the state office to get it. So that's the next step. If we can get this to be reset so we can gather.
Yeah, we're resetting. Yeah. We're
Then
resetting. No
that's
problem.
fine.
No problem. But the key is that first one they gave you. The first one they gave you, whenever it was, if you've got that in your file, that will outline, that will say.
Yeah, and I'm quite certain that the outline in the school, the outline in the paperwork still says all these things, or like you need to do this, you need to go here, you need to go there, and you can, I believe they have to initial down my side if I'm not mistaken, which is why I go back to the question of knowledge and understanding. Knowledge and understanding, if you just initial, doesn't necessarily mean you understand you have to do both. Or there's an argument to whether or not there's either or. It can be confusing. And like I said, the most recent case in the Court of Appeals in the state of Texas in 2018 says you can make a case about knowledge to say whether or not this person actually understood the duty. Intent is irrelevant. And that just came out in regards to this particular case.
Right, so you'll get that. We'll just go reset it. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, that's fine. So what we said, I'll gather all the paperwork, and there's a really good case, because they'll say, and this is what I was telling Roshan, the prosecution is going to do exactly what you're saying. Well, in the paper, he signed it. He signed it, that means he knew or should have known. So that's why I say, no, you know it's different from my understanding.
Right. You got a problem. Here's your problem. If you go to trial, they get to bring up all your past. They get to bring up that you've been here once before for this very same thing.
But not the same.
Yeah, right.
It's different.
It was for not registering.
Right, but there's different.
Listen, I got it, but I'm telling you, you're going to have 12 people sitting there judging him, and he's going to have to get up in there and say, I didn't know.
That I had to do both.
I didn't know. And they're going to say, really?
Yeah.
You've already been to prison for not doing it one time and you didn't get it straight?
And see,
Correct.
I got to say something real quick,
Yeah, I mean,
because
it's tough.
it's like, I sit up here and I watch how everything works, and it's like, instead of fighting for people who should be fought for, you pushing me into doing a plea deal, right?
No,
Because
I didn't.
it's like, the thing
No one,
is, it's like this.
Wait a minute. No one said, did anyone say that?
You didn't.
No, I
But
didn't.
what I'm saying is,
I
you
didn't.
keep telling me how I can't win.
I didn't
But
say
we
that.
can win, and it depends on how you bring the argument. It's like,
Listen, what I'm saying is this, you just can't simply get up there and say, I didn't know.
No.
Well,
that's
let me
not what
finish.
I'm saying.
I didn't know, so I get to go free. I'm telling you, they're going to evaluate everything. They're going to evaluate the underlying case, all right? They're going to evaluate that you've been to prison for not reporting. They're going to evaluate that the reason you're here is because you've been messing with people at the school, and then you're going to have to get up there and say,
Because I've been messing with people?
Well,
it's the
that's
school.
That's
the underlying offense, yeah.
Right.
So, but you're going to have to get up there and convince them, I had no idea I was supposed to do this. And if you convince them, you convince them. But what I'm telling you is, you just can't get up there and just because you say, I didn't know, doesn't mean you get off.
Right, and
That doesn't get you off.
And you know what? I think you absolutely have an opportunity to show that you did not know.
That's correct. You're going to have to prove you didn't know.
Regardless of all of these other things. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you didn't know that you had to do both. You do know that you had to register, which is why you're already in compliance, and you've been in compliance since you were released in 2015. You're going to show you didn't know that you had to do both, because there's this nuance in the law that gives you the option almost of either or.
Well, it's
That's what
confusing.
it's
It's confusing.
And the other thing is once he got in trouble with the school about, him and this lady having an altercation, the school did an investigation, showed that there was no altercation. We have that in the record. There's also multiple records from this young man, the school dean, and the general counsel to show that he actually thought the school had to notify him. So he can show, I didn't know, which is why I'm asking you, why do you think you know? Where is it in the handbook that I have to do this? There's nowhere in the policy that is put in the handbook that I have to do this. So there's proof, there's a path forward.
Well, that's what I was telling him, that what I've been trying to do first is try to get the DA on our side. Say, look, he didn't know. He did everything else he was supposed to. He had no idea.
Right.
And especially if you've got a form where when it outlines your duties, and it doesn't, and if it doesn't say you're supposed to do this, it's like, look, he did not know. Give him a break. Let him go.
Or if you have a form that outlines 1,000 duties to remember.
Right.
It can be
If
a
it's
little bit
confusing.
confusing,
Right.
especially when you have to do this over a lengthy period of time. And we're talking about a scholar, we're talking about a college graduate. Now, at this point, the school fixes itself, and we're talking about someone who has been in trouble with the incident of coming out of prison. And so I do think that there, hopefully, if we have reasonable people on the prosecution side, that you can get people on your side.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it may just go away with them. They
Yeah.
just may say, you know what? This is not right, and we're going to let it go.
yeah, and that's not, like I said, I do think that there's enough, because what you're saying is absolutely right. They're going to bring up all the people. You signed the paper here, and, you got in trouble for registering. Before, which is what they're basically saying in the charging instrument anyway.
Right. And your theory should be, but I registered with the city. If I'd have known I was supposed to register with the school, I'd have registered with the school.
And it wasn't like I wasn't hiding him from the school because he did put other people on the. He's been asked to speak publicly at the school and all this thing. He told that he wasn't given reason.
When did he speak publicly about it?
But I can
How long have you been going there? 2 years?
That's what we moved it. So we got this associated.
So it's been over the past 2 years you've been speaking about it?
Speaking and talking to public safety, he talked to students, he said on the panel.
Is there records of that? Can you give me records?
I absolutely can. We can get you records, we can get you photos, we can show everything. Him being active in the public space with multiple people talking about this, multiple people.
Okay. That'll help.
And he's also, he's not only in the Honor Society, he has started a chapter where he brought in, you know, public safety officials to talk about injustice and share his story at the same time. So it's not, he's not trying to avoid doing anything.
Right, he wasn't avoiding doing it. Yeah.
Right, yeah, you know.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that, like I told him, I think there's a really good case to say, because the people who avoid things are not so, you know, because that means at any point in time, anybody could have came in and arrested
Well, if
you.
you, obviously you weren't trying to hide it.
Right.
I think, let me see if it's open. Wait here, wait here. You know what, just, yeah, what. I may have it, we're getting enough to go into.
Okay.
Tell me I can't win. It's like, that means you're not gonna fight for me. But if you tell me that he's not gonna win,
Because he is trained to think in a particular way.
Not open yet.
So don't. Okay?
Not
It
open
is,
yet.
I get it. You know,
I'm tired of going through this.
I understand. But we're gonna deal with this situation. We will finish dealing with whatever we need to do with Michigan, you know, and try to work on what you have to try to do. Because, and I understand it. I mean, I don't understand it from a personal standpoint. I do understand that this is our state. I do understand that you feel like I am doing what I can to stay out of trouble. The thing is, if you get anxious and irritable and all out of sorts, we cannot think, okay? And I need you to listen. And if you don't know,
They told me at the age of 17, I would only have to do this for 10 years.
I get you. And these are
This
completely different.
20 years now, and I'm still getting in trouble for something that I shouldn't be getting in trouble for.
Let me ask you something. You know, you can have an early termination of your,
Registration.
yeah, but I don't know how that works if it's up in
It's a
Michigan.
different case. He can't do it here. We have to do it in Michigan. So last year in June, we went to challenge it. One, because of the age gap. In 2011, the state of Michigan acquired the Romeo and Juliet laws and statutes that apply there retroactively. And he went to challenge it with the state of Michigan in that court. And the court, well, the prosecution asked for a delay because the case only needed to find get her documents that like the court
So it's still pending, and that's to give an early termination?
to qualify him because of these age gaps. He was 17, the student at the time was 16, but before these laws came out.
It was still for 1 year, didn't it?
A year and 4 months.
Michigan didn't have any provision for that?
Not at the time. This happened in 2000. In the year 2000. You know, all these new Romeo and Juliet statutes in Michigan didn't come out until 2011. And so
You're kidding me.
no.
Now you understand some of my frustration?
Like, and when you look at how they tried, I've looked at this many times. I got all those
Let me ask you this, is there something in the records in Michigan that shows she was 16?
He could go, I got the document online, he can pull it up right now.
It just says she's under 17.
No, it says 16.
Well, if you pull up registry, it says this is an I'll have to look in the app.
Okay, well, if they can pull the registry and it says 16,
Yeah,
okay.
let me pull it up on
Okay, because,
I'm saying, but yeah, we have an actual court transcript from the case, and talk about this. The judge even asked how are we doing the judge asked, how do we get this statute to apply to this situation? Because the statute, they charge somebody with saying a person under the age, like 16 or under, and the other person is 5 years older than them.
Right.
Which doesn't apply to them.
Right.
And so...
how did they apply that?
Well, what the prosecution was saying was that that they were able to apply it using some kind of, like, what do you say? I'll have to actually get at the language, because they were saying, well, we're actually pleading you to a lesser charge, and this is how we kind of get some of the language in there. But you can clearly see that the judge is struggling with these two being this age and not understanding how are we saying this person qualifies as a 5-year age gap.
Because it says in there, the statute says a 5-year age gap, right?
Right. Yep. And even in Michigan, regarding...
So what did they say about that?
I have to look at the actual language of the transcript. There was a agreement of how they could get the language. His attorney at the time didn't challenge it, but his attorney did say, I'm struggling with this because, but for, this, like with this age thing that you guys are dealing with, my client, they were good. Like, they're both fine.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How long is the duty to register in Michigan for? Is it 10 years?
Oh, no. Well, so the plea arrangement that he signed, which we'll have to get, it just says...
It's 36-month probation.
Well, right, but...
I've got it right here,
But he also got the duty to register. His attorney told him that it would be 10 years. But I think when his attorney told him that it would be 10 years, I think that's the earliest you can get early release.
Female, 16. That's on my Instagram.
But it's on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't see it. My eyes aren't that good. But it
Female,
says...
16.
Okay, all right.
So I think that's what, when he did, they told him the duty to register was 10 years. I believe that the conversation, but it looks like the duty to register in Michigan for this particular case, because it is a high court misdemeanor in Michigan, it is only go by maximum fine, $500 and maybe up to 2 years in confinement. Anyway, I think the duty to register maybe like 25.
Because in Texas it's for life.
I know.
So if he can get it early terminated, then it's over with. Now, when I tell them to look for that, where do I tell them to go? What is that? What is that document?
That is a registration paper that I had to sign
Okay.
a long time ago.
Okay, that's what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I have a copy of it at home,
Can't
actually.
you print it up from that?
Maybe.
I mean, not this.
I think I have a
instant,
copy
but
at
if it's on your
home.
phone, you
We
can
might
print
have
it.
it at the house.
Yeah.
We have several pieces of paper
Okay.
from the...
Right, because if I can show them, I mean, that's even more simple.
And-
It's like, look, this isn't even an offense in Texas.
Can I show him one more thing?
Yeah.
Look, so, I'm sorry, my school stuff keep popping up.
that's all right.
But, my date, I'm going to just show you. My birth date is May 28th, 1982.
Uh-huh.
My date of conviction was May 27th, 1999. And that was the day before my 18th birthday.
So you're, okay.
And they put it on as if I was 18 and I wasn't. And they backdated my birthday 2 days, and they put my birthday May 26th. And I got that too.
Who did that?
It's a clerical, when they would argue that...
Here's when they backdated my birthday, May 26th. And they
Okay.
act as if I was 18 and I wasn't that way. It give them that wiggle room.
But at sentencing, at sentencing, it's different because at the time
It's
of
at the time of the offense, yeah.
At the time of the crime, if you were 17, that's not something that can be
Can't be
determined.
changed, yeah.
You know, at the time the complaint came in, at the time the report, all of that. none of that can be
All right, so you can get me that stuff, right?
yes, all of those documents, we do have those available. And because here in Texas, they don't have a similar, like, the closest thing they could try to make to the element is why we have to register
All right, yeah.
here. They don't have the same, where it's nothing remotely.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, if you could get that thing knocked out in Michigan, I think that should take care of it here.
yeah, well,
Because here it's not an offense.
right, and so we are.
Not an offense.
Yeah, we're working on it, just like I said, because the length of time is so long, this is well over a decade.
Oh, yeah, this has been in 19 years now.
Yes, the prosecutor.
Well, the conviction was in 99 or 2000?
99, I got sentenced.
No, that's kind of the offense in 99, sentence in 2000.
Two sentences was in 2005. Okay, yeah, so this has been up 19 years.
Yeah.
19 years. Okay. Hang tight, let me sit down. Hang tight.
I believe we have a really good
I want to hear that we can beat this.
You have to make him understand, okay? Because this is very complex, okay? You understand?
They calling names, I need to go over here.
Okay, your turn is trying to do.
Oh, so I'm good.
He'll come over here and review.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that I can't beat this.
But I want you, you see how I had to come here and talk to get him brought back to reality? Because he doesn't understand. He's looking at this right now, the day. Okay? Your day, this whole day is extremely complex, okay? It is very complex, and it's not going to be able to be explained in a way you've never seen it, in a way of making it sound like you should know these things, okay? And you right, right?
Because he's telling me what? And that's telling me you're not going to argue my case the way it should be argued, because your main objective is for me to sign a plea deal and for him to move on to the next.
I'm not an interrupt. I don't even know if they're going to let you in.
Okay?
And to work with him to get him to get him over to my side, all right? Of understanding, all right? Because I do, look. We would he only knows what he knows. He doesn't know all the backstory. He doesn't have any, he wants the easy, because he wants
Right.
the easiest way to fight. He wants to be able to go ahead and knock that out. Which would be my first approach too. I need documents, So now we have to figure out, now I have to get him up to speed. We have to feel like, okay, what do we have in our toolbox? This is what I was telling him. And it's also what I'm telling you on the process. He is not, you hear him saying, wait, what? This happened a long time ago. Wait, this didn't even happen here. What is this and what, If y'all get on the two separate ends, you're not going to be able to argue here the way you need him to. Do I think he can be possible to do that? Maybe. But I need him to do a job. And I need him to do it well. I can't do it for him. I need to be able to talk to him.
No. Well, I'm going to tell you what irritates me. What irritates me is that people that should be in prison, and just because people have money, they go fight for them and tell them how they can beat it and how they come up with a solution and a possible way to go around to get them out of trouble for something they should be in trouble for. But I shouldn't be here. Simon.
Family members that wait out here.
Pardon me.
You got the second register? Just go all the way down to the second one. Be easier if you just move all the way down.
Has anyone walked in recently and didn't check in? Turn the third row, you do the same on the first two rows there. It's in the first two rows. First two rows. And have you checked in?
Yeah.
Step forward.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the judge is about to come out. Make sure your electronic devices turn off on silent.
Mr. Rodriguez? Juan Apollo? Juan?
I don't have a date yet, I won't get it till I get to it.
Once again, please make sure your electronic device is turned off or on silent, please.
Hey, but if I could change the schedule, I just want to say, we can start out with how much your next will take. So, confiscated. He is like outside.
All of a sudden,
So he said 184 thing called the he said 182 that was it's a right above it. 1030 broke, which is probably better than not really, because we won't be on that.
anyway, let's talk about it.
All right. 3:38, this criminal court now in session. The Honorable Ramona Franklin presiding.
Thank you for more information. As I call the morning docket, if you could please stand